Hello, geometry students. I hope you're doing awesome. We are finishing off finally 11.4. So we've done 11.4a, 11.4b, and now we are on 11.4c. Just trying to make sure we've reviewed everything we need to about surface area before moving on in this chapter. So we're going to look at a few different formulas for both pyramids and cones. So we're going to look at first the lateral area for a regular pyramid. So the formula is going to be that the lateral area is 1/2 this P, which is going to stand for perimeter of the base, times something called lowercase italicized L, which stands for slant height. And we're going to do an example using these numbers so that you know what to look for. So let's do a pyramid with a square base. In fact, you know what? I'm going to draw the base first because that's an easier way typically to do it. So I'm going to draw my square base, and then I'm going to draw the pyramid coming up from that. So it's important to understand what slant height means. Slant height means the height if we go along the outside of the pyramid. So for example, in this picture right here, my slant height would be going down the side of the pyramid, not through the middle. If that slant height is labeled as 5, that would be the L in this picture here. And then I have one side of the base marked with 2.5. Now, if the base is not marked as being regular, like we did a problem on the notes last time, where we could see that the triangular was not a regular triangle base because of the way the sides were marked up. But in this case, we can assume that the base is a square, and so all of the 4 sides are going to be 2.5 as well. So this will be 2.5, that'll be 2.5, and then the side on the back will also be 2.5. So if I want to find the lateral area, I would take 1/2 of the perimeter. The perimeter is going to be 2.5 times 4, which is 10. So 1/2 of 10 times my slant height, which we just said is 5. Half of 10 is 5, and 5 times 5 is 25. So for example, if this was in centimeters, I would have that my lateral surface area was 25. Now again, keep in mind, lateral surface area just means essentially the sides, but not the base. So if we want to go ahead and take a look at the total surface area for a pyramid, that would be the lateral area plus the base. Now, when we were looking at prisms, we did plus 2 bases because a prism has 2 bases on it. But keep in mind, a pyramid just has 1 base. So we're going to bring over the formula from here. The lateral area is 1/2 the perimeter times the slant height. And then B stands for area of the base. So let's label that. That means area of base. All right, so we are going to go ahead and put a bunch of information down here. Let's assume that we have a square pyramid again, and I am going to draw that pyramid here, and I'm going to mark the slant height on this one as being 8. So I'm going to show that this is a line going down the middle of the triangle here, and that is 8 units long. And then I'm going to mark this side as being, oh, you know what? Let's see. Hold on. Is that? No, you know what's interesting? I am looking at this wrong. It's my base that's 8 here, and I don't know the slant height. We're going to have to figure that out. So go ahead and erase that. I apologize. Go ahead and keep the slant height marked on there, but we just don't know what it is. I was looking at my figure wrong. These 8s represent the bases. What we are given on this one instead is some information inside the triangle. So if we go ahead and look at the regular height of the pyramid right here, We don't know what that is, but unless they give it to us here, let's see. This is going to be 6. Now, this length right here is going to be 4 because it's half the width of the square. We actually need to find our slant height. So in this particular problem, this is kind of weird, but you have to see that there's a right triangle hidden inside the pyramid. The height of this right triangle is 6. That was given to us. The width or the base here is 4 because it's half the width of the square. We are going to actually have to use Pythag to find the slant height. So we're going to say 4 squared plus 6 squared equals L squared, or 16 plus 36 equals L squared. And then L is going to be the square root of 36 plus 16. So when we get that, we have the square root of 52. Now, I would recommend in this unit, when you're taking square roots, I would recommend going out 4 spots. So I'm going to write this as 7.2111 for my L. Just because if you round too much in the beginning, then it can make your answer off at the end. So I can see that I'm going to need L. I can also see I'm going to need the perimeter of the base. The base is going to be, has sides of 8. So we're just going to take 4 times 8 to get 32. I'm also going to need the area of the base. So the area of the base, capital B, is side squared, because in a square we just take side times side, which would be 64. So let's plug in all the information and see what we get here. Our perimeter is 32. Our slant height is this long number here, 7.2111. And then the area of the base is 64. Now what I like to do is I kept this number in my calculator. Then I'm just going to go times 32 times 0.5. And that's going to give me something like 115.3776 plus 64. I'm keeping that in my calculator, adding 64 to that, and I'm rounding at the very end. My final answer is going to be 179.4 when I plug everything in. So our work is kind of all below that. Okay, so that's how we would find the total surface area of a pyramid. The cones are usually a little bit more straightforward. Let me give you both formulas here. The lateral area for a cone is pi RL. So like if you're thinking an ice cream cone, it would be the part that you actually eat, the outside of it, but not the hole on the top. And then the total surface area, like if you had something over the top of the cone, would be the lateral area plus 1 base, or pi RL plus pi R squared. Because remember, with a cone, we are always talking about a base that is a circle. In this particular problem here, we're given the slant height, 3.2, and the radius, 1.4. This L here does mean slant height, just like it did with the pyramid. In this case, we're given that right here. All right, so let's go ahead and find the lateral area. It's going to be pi times R, which is 1.4, times L, which is 3.2. And then, oh, and you know what? Well, we'll find the lateral area first, and then we'll find the total surface area. That's fine. So if I take 1.4 times 3.2, I'm going to get 4.48 pi. So that would be just the lateral area. However, if I want the total surface area, I need to take that number that I just found, the 4.48 pi, and add my base, which is pi R squared. So I'm going to have pi times 1.4 squared. when I do my exponents first, I'm going to square 1.4. So now I have 4.48 pi plus 1.96 pi. If I want to add those together, I'm going to end up with 6.44 pi. Or if I want to turn it into a decimal and use the pi button on my calculator, I'm going to get about 20.2. So either way would be good, but that would be your total surface area for the cone. All right, we're finally done with section 11.4.